1377, good luck. So that's a bit of a rating. Oh, and going berserk as well. There is 1800 games in there. I don't think that shows on the screen, does it? When I hover over, I can see the game. 1879 games. Okay, let's remove the pawn there, but that much of a rating gap and going berserk as well. It just makes you a little bit suspicious, or a big bit suspicious. But I'll review the account obviously properly after the event. Let's just develop. We're going to guard the bishop just so we can move the knight if we need to. But yeah, pawn is playing extremely quickly for a 1300 here. Another gone berserk, but it's still a bit... Can I sack here? If you take, I can maybe grab a pawn. Let's just take anyway. Yeah, he knows what he's doing, so I'm a bit skeptical about this one. I think my opponent really knows what they're doing here. But all you can do, I suppose, is hope that your opponent's playing fairly. And my opponent could go berserk every single game that I play. I'll find out after the event. It says joined 3 years ago. Okay, so if we can get the queen off the board, it should make it a little bit less risky. What do we do? Let's bring the rook across just so if the knight moves, the pawn's loose. And straight away I've blundered, so I'm going to have to trade. But I'm happy to trade the queen. I just don't want to trade everything. But I'm very happy to trade the queen. The queen comes off, it takes some risk out of the game. And I tend to do better when I play endgames than not. Okay, he's just moved quickly there, too quick, so that's a pawn. Okay, that's another pawn. And now we just come back and restrict the knight, and we trade the knight if we get a chance to, then maybe get another pawn. So there's another one. Now we'll just double up. Now if the knight moves, my bishop's actually loose. So do I get another pawn? Knight, if the knight came across, I could actually take, but if you went there, you could attack the rook and the bishop at the same time, so that's a problem. But if I double the rooks up, I don't think there's a useful attack, but let's not take silly risks, shall we? Let's just get the bishop out of the way so there's no silly attacks. You can see my opponent knows what they're doing here. Okay, they made a few mistakes, but they know what they're doing. This is someone who's fundamentally a decent player, so I like the idea of coming behind here, and if you push, just counter push, but it's probably in principle better just to simply trade. So yeah, now I'm going to just go behind a pawn. You can't play rook across because it's covered. So now I'm going to come to the open file and try and get forward, or even just rook down and try and trade a rook off. So we're under attack, so we can go and pin the knight now. There's also potential here. I think we should come up here and just force something off. We're threatening bishop up. But you can see it's fundamentally a good play here. Wouldn't be surprised if my opponent's peak high rating is quite a bit higher than this, but we'll find out. It just always makes you wary against everybody when you see a low rated player and they use berserk mode. It makes you a little bit wary. Now, what's a good move here? Bishop up is probably good. Knight up, trade and trade. Bishop to hit the rook. Don't like quite so much. I don't know, the knight's simply hanging, isn't it? I can just take the knight. Just take your time. I'm going to go with this rook. Just so I can come back defensively if I need to. Okay, so what we'd like now is the bishop in the middle. We can nicely drop the rook back, and there's not much black can do here now, to be fair, but then we just want to get the bishop centralized. This and this, yeah, but that's not a bad effort, is it? You can see that's a dangerous opponent, so let's put that through the engine. 30 moves. They're the move times for each player. So we were better, and then we've got it back to equal. So we've always been level or better for the games. We played 91% versus 84% accuracy. CPL is 24 versus 44, but we've made some mistakes here. So In this position, we should play d4 rather than g3. g3 is kind of like the Reti principle of the opening that I normally play, so that's why I played that. Then we've up and down a little bit, and then it goes back to level. But here we want 1.7 better, so we should have just again challenged for the center. We should be challenging for the center sooner. That's what the engine said, instead of going a little bit slow development. So we're back to level in this position. You can see it's still okay here. But then my opponent just played a few moves too quickly, didn't they? So this engine says here just simply trading is actually a mistake. So it's okay to take back with the queen, but now we're suddenly better. Then it's just some simple quick moves from opponent and the position just collapses. But it was a really good effort, wasn't it? So you're always a bit skeptical when you're playing somebody thick end of 1,000 points low rated and they use berserk mode as well. So you can't help but wonder, but really good effort by my opponent there. You can see dangerous, so well done.